So how many people are in Creator's Journey? Popular question. And I'm going to give you two answers. The first answer I'm going to give you is the answer that you want. I'm going to give you the information you want to know. And the second answer I'm going to give you is what I want you to know because you're asking. It's the information I want you to have, the perspective I want you to see. Okay, so first and foremost, I'm not going to make you wait. How many people are in Creator's Journey? The answer is infinity. And by that, I mean as many people as possible. I will take the entire human race as a member of Creator's Journey if everybody wants to sign up. It's designed that way. The structure is set up that way. It's for that purpose and that intention. So I imagine that's not what you want to hear. That's the information you want, but not the answer that you were hoping for. And the reason I imagine that is because I've been in conversation with enough people that have asked this question. And when they've asked me, I have asked them as a response, why do you ask? And what I found out behind people's asking is the hope or desire that is a small number of people. Sometimes it's because they like the intimacy of small groups and they're uncomfortable in big groups. And if that's the case, well, this presents a perfect opportunity for you to grow in your discomfort, grow in your comfort in being uncomfortable in those contexts. But that's not the most popular reason people ask. The most popular reason people ask how many people are in Creator's Journey is because they want to do the math on how often they're going to get to talk to me directly. How often are you and I going to be in direct conversation? And this brings me to the second answer, what I want you to know, the information I have for you that's important for me, for you to see, the perspective I'd like to offer you. There's a book that I read some years back by a New York psychologist that uses a kind of a common Buddhist phrase. And maybe I think it might be Zen Buddhism. And that phrase is this: if you meet the Buddha on the road, kill him. If you meet the Buddha on the road, kill him. It's an idea that lives in my work. And there's a paradox in this work, especially the way that I do it when I teach people to become the product themselves, see themselves as the product, and be the epicenter of that which attracts people into their work. Have your integrity and the quality of your being be the magnetic force that draws people into your world and buy your services, whatever they are. It doesn't have to be in personal development. You could be a plumber who is the product so much that it draws people into your work and they could become customers and clients. When I teach that, and especially in the industry of personal development, what happens is it presents the context for creating the idea in the world, in people out there, that who you are and what you have is something special. And whilst that's instrumental in creating that attractive force that draws people into conversation, number one, if you start believing that yourself, that you're special above other people, that's going to be a problem for you narcissistically, egoically. But more important and more commonly, it becomes an obstacle to doing really effective work with people. And so I say to my clients all the time, if you meet the Buddha on the road, kill him. Don't make me your guru. Okay. And so when you hear that inside your mind and you were asking the question, how many people are in Creator's Journey, you're telling yourself, well, no, I'm not making you my guru. I'm going to push back on that a little bit and challenge you to say, okay, I think that you're probably not like on a surface level, on the level of consciousness, right? But at a more subtle level. And this isn't just you. This is all of us in this industry because the context of the industry creates this. It creates this. We see other individuals out there, we'll call them coaches, as people that can genuinely help us to see ourselves better than we can see ourselves. And there's beauty in that. There's truth in that. But if we're not careful, suddenly we start falling into the trap of believing that that person out there will save me from something inside myself. They can see something in me that I could never see on my own. I'm not capable of seeing it. And so I need them in order for me to access that. That's the first level. The even deeper level, which, look, if you aren't willing to accept the possibility that deep down outside of your awareness, this stuff is going on for you, then I would challenge you as not being free enough to consider the possibility that you are so much more than you think you are. So much of you is in your way of being is unconscious. And I'm willing to challenge you without even knowing who you are right now as I'm talking to you, because I've gone there myself. And I've found out for me on the inside, deep down at layers, that I didn't want to acknowledge that I was looking to another person to see something in me that I didn't believe that I could see for myself. And that I was looking to another person as somebody that if they just saw me and they had just acknowledged me as good, as powerful, and they believed in me, then I could believe in myself. And that's the deeper piece. The idea that somebody out there seeing you will validate you and will give you the capacity to have faith in yourself. It's a carrot on a stick. You never get there. You never get there. The only thing you can hope for is that someday you'll wake up to the fact that there's a stick holding this carrot, and chasing it is a fool's errand, right? It's a losing game. And so, I'm passionate about this. And this question itself is not, I'm not just talking about this because this question comes up. I'm using this question as an entry point into one of the deepest purposes of the work that I do. I have made a joke to my coach, who goes by the ultimate coach, that I'm the penultimate coach, until you die, then I'll take your position. And that started off as just like kind of a respect to his name for his work and his impact in the world. And also like a bit of a tease or whatever, like a play on the name of his thing. But as I reflected on the word penultimate coach, I started to think about, like, that is my role with every single person I work with, actually, in this way. The penultimate is the second to last. I want to be the second to last coach you ever hire. And what I mean by that is I want the relationship that I have with you and the work that I expose you to and that you are exposed to in being in my program to be something that advances your capacity to trust in yourself so deeply, that advances your ability to see yourself with such lucidity and clarity that there is not a coach on the planet that can support you and serve you as well as you can yourself. That is a powerful place to stand. And that doesn't mean that a person who stands there doesn't have mentors and coaches and people that they go to. The difference is very, very deep. It is the ground upon which you stand when you seek to create in those partnerships. And see how I phrase that: seek to create in partnerships. Right? There's a ground upon which you stand, in which you look out, and it's a level playing field, and you see with equal eyes. And so only you, deep down inside, in your heart of hearts, can you know if somewhere in this question you are searching for somebody that will show you something that you can't find within yourself, or you're searching for somebody who will see you and validate you and help you to have faith in your own power. Both of those things, again, are a fool's errand. You can't get there through it. And so I am a very much a stand and a champion for you, realizing that you have way more power right now than you know, and using the fact that you're asking that question as an inquiry into, what if I never needed to speak to this dude? What if I never needed to speak to him? Now, let's not throw the baby of the possibility of what I can share with you out with the bathwater of the idea that you speaking with me directly is the only way that I can help you. I get emails from people often, or DMs or whatever, comments, people that I've never met and I maybe will never meet, that have watched like 500 of my YouTube videos and tell me about how whole much of their life is transformed. And that's really from a distance. Now, and then all the way over, and I've mentioned many times that most of the client conversations that I've had are people tell me all the time in your groups, the most value I got was being present to you, being in conversation with somebody else. When you're not on the hot seat, you have a different capacity to hear what's really happening in the conversation. And I'm not here to help you. I'm here to help you help yourself. And that's what's actually happening in the conversation. When I'm helping you directly, sometimes it's hard to see what I'm doing such that you can learn how to do that for yourself, because it just gets, quote unquote, done to you. Right? So oftentimes, even my private clients, they need to go back and watch the recordings to be like, what just happened? So they can actually gain that meta perspective where the even higher value is. And on that note, look, if you really, really want to work with me one-to-one or privately, like I still do that. If you have anywhere, or in my small groups, $25,000 to $100,000, like we can do that. I'm not saying that's not an option, but I'm saying that if you think that's the only way that I can impact you and make a massive difference in your life, then you're missing actually the foundation of my work. The main purpose of my work is delivered through being present to the kind of conversation that elevates your capacity to be in conversation with yourself at a really high level, that allows you to know thyself, Look, the same way that I'm pointing to here, like a deeper, more subtle thing that might be going on inside of you, that's outside of your awareness, that's driving a question into the world through you, getting practiced and seeing that stuff on your own is a superpower. And if you're going to work with me privately, I'm still going to teach you all these things. And so this is the best place to start is this work. And then if we do happen to do one-to-one work together after that, at some point, it stands on a foundation of you not needing me at all. And I've had to work through this with my own mentors, and I still work through it. I'm not even going to sit here and tell you like I'm there now. And I never come from that place of thinking I need to be seen by somebody or need them to see something inside of me in order for me to be able to grow and access my thing. No, I slip into it sometimes, but I'm conscious of that whole dynamic and I'm on the path and I'm looking for it. And if somebody proposed to me that like, oh, I think you don't think you can do this on your own, that's why you're going for that coach. I'm not gonna be like, no, I'm not. No, not, no, I'm definitely, no, I'm the opposite. I'm like, oh, interesting. Let me look into that because I would be that's probably the case. Outside of my awareness somewhere, there's always a little bit of my abdication of power going on. And I'm always looking for it. And I'm always ready to call myself out on it. And so I'm never going to get there to that point where I'm totally free of that, but I'm playing the game of getting more and more free all the time. So this is a long second answer to this question, but I hope you can feel who I'm being for you in this moment when I'm sharing this with you. This isn't some kind of clever trick to get you to sign up for my program. Of course, it's aligned with you committing to Creator's Journey. I want you to join Creator's Journey. I can be very direct with you about that. I think it's a great place for you and I to begin our work together and to do very deep work together. Or if we did work to years one-to-one together to come back, you're going to be seeing my stuff in a new way at a deeper level anyway. So it's one of the best places that I can create impact because it's not you're not distracted by the idea that it's me helping you directly because you can't see it. You can be present to the overarching possibility of a really deep and high level and powerful conversation and how that creates everything in your life, whether it's the conversation you're having with yourself, the conversation you're having with your spouse, the conversation you're having with the kids, your conversation you're having with the community of the world, the conversation you're having with your team, the conversation you're having with prospective clients. It's the conversation that creates everything. And as you elevate the level of conversation you're capable of having, able to see more deeply, to cut more honestly into your soul and to other people's souls, your power to create goes up exponentially. That's how many people are going to be in Creator's Journey month after month, infinity. And that's why it's actually valuable to you. Not because there's a few, but because there's many. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for listening. I love you, and I'll see you in Creator's Journey. Bye for now.